Hello YouTube, how is everyone doing? It's Professional here. Welcome back to my playthrough of Ace Attorney. I hope that you guys are enjoying this series of Ace Attorney investigations, but let's continue from where we left off here. The test results have just come in, sir. Traces of ubiquium were found in the teapot. I knew it. Miss Judy Bound has a lot of explaining to do. I don't like her. I think it's all just a show, just her personality. They were! Just like Mr. Edgeworth said. Curse you! You better not think this means you beat me! You really need to drop this obsession with coming in first, Mr. Winner. We're all on the same side here, remember? We're all trying to get to the truth. Yeah, good what Edgeworth just said here. I agree 100%. What? But first is best. Everybody knows it's better to be a winner than a loser. That's really no way for a prosecutor to think. Not a successful one, anyway. What? Enough! Mr. Edgeworth, please refrain from taunting the boy. Excuse me? He's the one taunting me. Ignore him, Eustace. He isn't worthy of your attention. But Gabelle! Oh, alright. Why don't I take care of things here for now? In the meantime, you can perform the far more important task of going and checking on the victim. Oh, yeah, good idea. I'll be right back. Excellent. We shall see you shortly then. Yeah, she probably made him leave because she realized that he's an idiot too. Mr. Winter's annoying, but totally harmless. Judge Gavelle, on the other hand. Now. Miss Bound, perhaps you could explain why traces of ubiquium were found in your teapot. I had no idea there was anything like that in there. Oh yeah, sure. But perhaps it's one of the ingredients in the dishwashing soap I use. So you are telling the court that you did not intentionally put ubiquium in the teapot? Yes, exactly. Why would I? Until today, I had no idea that it could even be used to make poison gas. Oh, no, she's lying. Objection! You're a trained actress, are you not, Miss Bound? I'd have thought you would be a more convincing liar. What do you mean? You have access to the ultimate cookbook, correct? A book just happens to contain instructions on how to create the poison gas used in the attack. Meaning it's perfectly possible for you to know exactly how to make it. You're very well informed, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Bound, is what Mr. Edgeworth said true? The book does contain information on how to make the poison gas, yes. But the fact that I've seen it doesn't make me guilty. Can I ask exactly how the gas was triggered? The victim used a blowtorch to heat the lid of one of the display cases, thereby melting the ubiquium. Heh, I see. What's so funny? The guy nearly died, but he locked himself in the room too, didn't he? Surely that and the fact that he triggered himself, wouldn't it point to it being a suicide attempt? Suicide attempt? Literally, no. No. That makes no sense. No. Literally, if Gusto is gonna kill himself, killing himself with poison gas, that's one of the worst ways to go. No. That makes no sense. Why somebody would do it so complicated, just making poison gas and then unleashing it on themselves to kill themselves. The whole theory, it makes no sense. No. So she's not willing to admit to anything. Furthermore, where would I have gotten hold of the Investicide Ultra? From the pharmaceutical company. Oh, I don't know. Perhaps you stole it. You know, I did bump into Moody Judy just a week ago or something. And that very evening, I noticed my Investicide Ultra had gone missing. She stole it from her there. Then. That's where she got it. Judy, surely you didn't. Alicia, you carry your bag of pharmaceuticals with you everywhere, don't you? There would have been any number of opportunities for someone other than myself to steal it from you. Oh yeah, sure. It's all just an act. It's all an act. I don't believe her. That's true, and I don't have any hard evidence that definitely was Miss Bound who stole it. Dudes, there's clearly something you're not telling us. Why don't you just come clean, We all know you never hurt somebody for no reason, so... Not you too. You think I'm guilty as well, Mr. Fender? Can you blame me? We've gotten one wing disguised as another, a gas strap in one of the display cases. And you're the proprietor of the establishment. It's looking a lot like you did it, kiddo. You've got this all wrong. You know, this is one of the few times in the game where everybody's in agreement. Like, literally everybody's in agreement that she's probably guilty. You have to remember, this gallery doesn't have any security cameras, nor any security personnel. Why? Why would you have such an expensive gallery and not have any security cameras? Not having any security guards, okay. But not having any security cameras, that's extremely suspicious, especially for a gallery that contains extremely expensive works. If some ill-intentioned person or other wanted to get in undetected, I don't think they'd have much of a problem. Literally, that you're have an expensive gallery and no security system. Wow, you're practically asking to be burglarized. Exactly what I just said. You need to be more careful. A great thief could have a field day here. And I don't think she's joking. And actually, it seems that Mr. Gusto did in fact enter the gallery before it opened. Jeez. Judy's one tough cookie. She's not budging an inch. Maybe it's time to rock a little technique Gregory taught me back in the day. And what technique might that be? So hear me out, everything's connected to what happened 18 years back, yeah? And since we're not getting anywhere by focusing only on the here and now, maybe we ought to approach this from a different angle and look to the past for clues instead. Turnabout in thinking, so my father used this method as well. Alright, let's run this through the old Thinkatron. How was Jude involved in what happened back then? According to Miss Bound, it was because of her that Mr. Frost's flavored ice sculpture melted. And yet his sculptures are here on display in this very gallery today. Is it possible that she... Thank you, Fender. I think I know what I need to ask Miss Bound now. Wait, did she actually steal the sculptures, but she pretended to actually melt them? The sculptures were never melted. Don't thank me, thank your pops. Now take it away, Milesy. I'll grab the popcorn. Miss Bound, you say that you were the one who caused Mr. Frost's creations to melt 18 years ago, correct? I'm afraid so. I was young and foolish, and it was a terrible accident. And yet, what you did allowed you to open this exhibit? No. What do you mean? Yes, what do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? If you are going to ask such questions, perhaps a formal testimony from Miss Bound might be best. Yes, perhaps it might be. I'd like to know a little more about Zodiac Hall. And about why Miss Bound decided to dedicate this space to Mr. Frost's work. Very well. If you believe it to be relevant to the case, I will allow it. Miss Bound, would you mind? Not at all. I'll do whatever it takes to prove that I'm innocent. Then please, if you could give us some background on Zodiac Hall and the pieces on display here. Oh, this should be good. Zodiac Hall. It took 18 years, but at long last, I was finally able to buy Samson's, home back a little while ago. Where did she get the money to buy this place? But a place like this is expensive to maintain, so I decided to turn it into an art gallery. To that end, I collected as many Paul Halik pieces as I could from around the world. Because, if I'm honest, it's always been something of a dream of mine to open a space dedicated to his work. But you said that you barely knew him 16 years ago. Or 18 years ago. Now you're a massive fan of his work? Thank you for your testimony, Miss Bound. How wonderful it is that you were able to fulfill your dream. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, everything seems entirely above board to me. Judge Gabel, that was simply the witness's preliminary statement. Are you sure? As you surely know, the value of that testimony cannot be evaluated without due cross-examination. Haha, spoken like a true attorney. Very well. You may do what you must. It took 18 years, but at long last, I was finally able to buy Samson's home back a little while ago.
Hold it!
18 years. You must have gone through a lot to buy it back, Miss Bound. This home, this place, such memories abound. I couldn't stand to lose what I had found. Samson, I did what I had to do, to see that home was waiting here for you. How does she make it look so easy? I'll say, but I wouldn't expect any less from a trained triple threat performer. If you could continue with your testimony, Miss Bound, minus the singing, if you please. I love this soundtrack, by the way. But a place like this is expensive to maintain, so I decided to turn it into an art gallery.
Hold it!
You managed the gallery by yourself, Miss Bound. Yes, well, we only opened today, so I haven't done much actual managing yet, but I have to keep the mansion going. Can't have it falling down around my ears, and yet you don't have no security system here. Samson could come home any day, after all. Though she really got the house back for him. I'm so sorry, Judy. I wish I could have done more. Oh, you've done plenty, Mr. Fender. If anyone should have done more, it's me. Even if the only thing I can do right now is to keep this place safe for Samson. To that end, I collected as many Paul Halik pieces as I could from around the world.
Hold it!
Paul Halik. That was Mr. Frost's pseudonym, correct? Yes, he adopted it while he was working as a sculptor in France. I see. I'm curious about some of the pieces in your collection. More specifically, how you were able to acquire the Taurus and Gemini sculptures. It was my understanding Mr. Frost died before he could complete them. Yes, I was able to create replicas for the Winter Wing and based on the photos of the sculptures he made. Really? Perhaps you could go into some more detail on that. Because if I'm honest, it's always been something of a dream of mine to open a space dedicated to his work.
Hold it!
Tell me more about this dream of yours, Miss Bound. Well, what I really wanted was to open a gallery with Samson, of course. A gallery of dance! A gallery of song! A gallery of gaiety and candy all day long! That was the idea, anyway. And here I thought art was to be appreciated in silence, not accompanied by musical numbers. Alas, Mr. Tanjiro transgressed against the edicts of the Goddess of Justice, and as such, that part of your dream may go permanently unfulfilled. No, Samson is... he's innocent. That awful prosecutor refused to listen, but it's true. He never hurt anybody. Mr. Tanjiro gave a false confession in order to protect Miss Bound. The two of them really did what they could to protect one another, didn't they? I wonder if Mr. Tanjiro knows that she's guilty. If she's actually responsible for Frost's death, and Tanjiro knows that, and he only, because that was his adopted daughter. So I wonder if he pled guilty just to protect her. I was able to create replicas for the Winter Wing based on photos of the sculptures he made.
Hold it!
These photos you mentioned, you mean the ones you yourself took in Mr. Frost's room 18 years ago. I love how Edgeworth points, and this is the thing is, this is the difference between Phoenix and Edgeworth. You see, Edgeworth is much more strict and straight to the point. Yes, you certainly know a lot about what happened back then, Mr. Edgeworth. So those statues in the Winter Wing were just copies, and I didn't even get to see them before they melted. No, the sculptures in question were definitely not replicas, which means that Miss Bound is lying. I know, it's such an awful shame, and after we went to the trouble to recreate them too, that sculptures in the Winter Wing weren't replicas. They're the very ones from 18 years ago. I need to show her I'm aware of that, or I'll never get to the truth. Okay, how do I prove that they are the same exact ones? Statues matching those by the victim 18 years ago. Sugar composition matches that of sugar found in the pale blue liquid in Artie Frost's room 18 years ago. Sugar detected in fountain also seems to be a match.
Objection!
No, it's not this one. Okay. Here's her own act. She is an accomplished actor. Okay. the sugar, it might be this.
Objection!
Yeah, I was thinking that it was the sugar. I'm afraid you've run out of road, Miss Bound. And the reason I think it's this, sugar composition matches that of sugar found in the pale blue liquid in Artie Frost's room 18 years ago. Sugar detected in fountain water also seems to be a match. Yeah. You can lie all you like, but you can't deny the results of the tests conducted on the sculpture's remains. And those tests leave no room for ambiguity. What you had on display weren't replicas. They were the very statues Mr. Frost carved 18 years ago. Oh, I can probably help explain how they worked out if you like, dear. It's the sugar, you see. You might think sugar is sugar. It's sugar, but the composition is actually very unique. You could probably recreate the statues, but the sweet secret of their chemical makeup? No chance. Thank you, Miss Scone. I don't recall asking for help, but still. Oh, she's getting nervous. She knows. To put it simply, the statues didn't disappear back then because they melted. They disappeared because you spiraled them away and kept them hidden for those 18 long years. What? She kept a pair of flavored ice sculptures around somewhere for all that time? It's not the most out there idea in the world, assuming you got a big enough icebox. Quiet, all of you. Miss Bound, have you anything to say in your defense? So you've already learned that much. Should I take that to mean you admit to having hidden the flavored ice sculptures in question? No, I admit to no such thing. You haven't proven that I was the one who took those statues away. And you won't, because it would have been impossible for me to do in the first place. The police were already here when they disappeared. How could I have done it without them noticing? How could she have moved the statues? How indeed. I don't know exactly how you did it, but I'm far from ready to say that it was impossible for you to have stolen them away. You're a very persistent man, aren't you, Mr. Edgeworth? I am indeed, and I won't stop until I get to the truth. I see. Then I'd better tell you exactly what I did that day 18 years ago. Oh, this is gonna be good. What I did that day. The whole time before judging began, I was waiting upstairs in our living area on standby. During the judging, I had to go change the camera's film cartridge for Samson. But before I could take the camera back to Samson, I discovered Mr. Frost's body. Later, around when your father arrived, I began to make the rounds and serve tea to everybody present. That was when I saw Mr. Gusto entering Mr. Frost's room. And those were my movements on that day. It all happened. I hardly see how you could take issue with any of that. That's for us to decide, Miss Bound. Yep. Are you saying there's a contradiction in her story, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm more focused on proving the fact that she did indeed steal those statues. The question is when she would have had the opportunity to do so. If I can pinpoint that, I might be able to prove what exactly she got up to. I think I'm gonna have to keep pressing her, because I don't see anything contradictory here. The whole time before judging began, I was waiting upstairs in our living area on standby.
Hold it!
And what were you doing while you were waiting? I was in my room practicing some dance routines. I was on a TV show called Bacon Bop with Samson, you see. Bacon Bop. What kind of show was it? It was a children's show. The two of them would sing and dance as they made a variety of sweets. Whoa, that sounds awesome. Hold the phone, Miles. You used to watch it? My father introduced me to it. I may have watched an episode or two. So Miss Bound passed the time before the judging began by practicing her dance routines. Was this the moment when Miss Bound stole the sculptures? I don't think it was the moment. Because I remember that Von Karma was really shocked when the statues were gone. That can't have been the moment she did it. I better listen carefully to what she says. Yeah, it's not the moment. And the reason it's not the moment is because Gregory and because Von Karma must have seen the ice sculptures beforehand. And remember that Gregory and Edgeworth Gregory Edgeworth and Von Karma ran in that room. So that's what I'll say about it. Is it can't have been that time. During the judging, I had to go change the camera's film cartridges for Samson.
Hold it!
Were you the only one who was able to move around freely during the judging? Well, I wouldn't say freely exactly, but I was able to move around more easily than the contestants. Yes. Even so, I could hardly have spirited the sculptures away while Samson was standing right there, could I? And I ran straight off to change the film as soon as he asked me. I wouldn't have had time. So, changing the film in the camera was requested by Mr. Tanjiro. Was this the moment when Miss Bound stole the sculptures? I don't think so, too. That can't have been the moment she did it. I better listen carefully what she says. No, he was standing near the door. But before I could take the camera back to Samson, I discovered Mr. Frost's body.
Hold it!
You entered the room containing Mr. Tanjiro's work before bringing the camera back to him, correct? Yes, I heard the sound of something collapsing. Samson, are you in here? Ah! The sound of the chocolate chip falling over after a certain someone took a bite out of one of the supports. And Mr. Tanjiro was still in the Gusto's room when you found the body. Yes, I'm fairly sure that was the case. He was judging each room in order, and he liked to take his time. So the point at which he discovered Mr. Frost's body. Was this the moment when Miss Bound stole the sculptures? Von Karma and Gregory saw the sculptures. You know, the police were there. I don't think so. That can't have been the moment she did it. I better listen carefully to what she says. Later around when your father arrived, I began to make the rounds and serve tea to everybody present.
Hold it!
Just as you did today. Yes, I went around and offered everybody working on the investigation a cup of tea. Present company included, I remember it well. You were here, there, upstairs, downstairs, everywhere with that little cart of yours. Interesting. And did anything strike you as strange around that time? Oh yeah, Gregory was singing the praises of Judy's tea, and I think he mentioned his saucer was cold. His saucer was cold. Was this the moment when Miss Bound stole the sculptures? Single person could transport quite a heavy load in using one of these. Wait a second. What if... Wait. When this was lowered. This was lowered down. And on top of it, she put the sheets on top of it to cover up that she had the statue. That's why Gregory's tea was cold. It's gotta be this one. This was the moment. Miss Bound, I believe this is when you stole the sculptures. Yeah, this is the time. I hate to contradict you, but the fountain room was full of witnesses at that point, Mr. Fender included. She had the tea on top of it. She made it seem like the thing was stretching out, like the table was stretching out, but it wasn't the cart. Are you suggesting that I somehow got the sculptures out of Mr. Frost's room right under everyone's noses? That is precisely what I'm suggesting. Miss Bound stole those ice sculptures, and she did it by hiding them here. Here, this is where it was.
Take that!
My father and Fender had no idea that one of the sculptures was mere inches away from them. Because it wasn't just a tea set you were pushing around, Miss Bound. That's why the tea got cold, because the ice sculpture was there, under it. But a hidden ice sculpture in a glass case. Ah!
Overruled!
Surely such a thing would have been impossible. How would a case of that size fit on a serving cart? It would have been spotted immediately.
Objection!
Who said anything about a serving cart? Well, what? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Edgeworth. What are you suggesting she used instead? I'm suggesting Miss Bound used this to transport the sculptures. The lift cart.
Take that!
And this is... the cart that Miss Bound used to move the flavored ice sculpture out of Mr. Frost's room 18 years ago. And it would appear that the very same cart is still here with us in this fountain room. We originally bought it for use in the contest. And you're saying that Miss Bound loaded Mr. Frost's sculptures onto this cart and carried them off? I am. That's how she did it, as you can imagine. All one would need to do is lay a case on its side and a tablecloth. There. And it looks exactly like a normal serving cart, thus allowing her to move the sculptures around freely. Can it be? Holy moly, of course! That's why those saucers were so chilly. They were sitting on top of the big blocks of ice. Judes, how could you? Impressive. Then again, you are Mr. Gregory Edgeworth's son. I should have expected no less. There isn't a scrap of evidence that I stole the sculptures all those years ago now. And yet, I knew that no matter what I said or did, I'd always be under a cloud of suspicion. So you admit it? You admit that you stole them from Mr. Frost's room? Yes, I do. I took those sculptures and their glass cases out of the room 18 years ago. Why? As Mr. Edgeworth correctly deduced, I dressed up the lift cart as a serving cart to do it, and slipped in and out of Mr. Frost's room while I was going around serving tea to everybody. In the end, I removed not only the sculptures, but the flavored ice Zodiac blocks as well. Zodiac blocks. I feel like I've seen them before for myself before. There's a huge block of ice on display here. It must be incredibly heavy. No, maybe not. What with it being hollow on the inside? If the Winter Ring really is an exact replica of Mr. Frost's room from 18 years ago, then even though my father never saw them because they were already melted, the Zodiac blocks must have been in the victim's room back then as well. When I finished moving the 2 ice sculptures and the 2 Zodiac blocks out, I took 2 fresh empty cases to Mr. Frost's room and put them where the original 2 had been. Only the sculptures had been kept in glass cases, you see, to prevent them from being damaged. The blocks were a little more robust, so they had been displayed as is. As stated in the contest rules, we were responsible for providing all display materials, including cases, meaning it would have been easy for her to prepare those empty spares she swapped in. Mr. Frost's room contained quite a few other flavored ice works in progress. I figured if I melted them down somehow, the resulting puddle would look like it came from the sculptures. And that is how the sculptures from 18 years ago came to be in the Winter Ring today. I have to say, Mr. Edgeworth, that's quite the confession. Indeed, and I think she offered it so willingly because she knows there's nothing we can do with it. That's all I have to tell you. However, despite everything I've shared, you can't charge me with anything now, can you? Yeah, we can. Stealing it. What? How do you figure that? Oh my. I would have thought you might know at least this much given we're at a crime scene. I suggest you memorize the various statutes of limitations outlined in this book. Oh, the statute of limitations. Oh, no. Oh, no. Time has run out for it. Oh, great. Statutes of what? Statutes of limitations are the time that you have basically to prosecute a crime. When the statutes of limitations, this is in real life court too. When the statutes of limitation run out, you cannot prosecute the person anymore for the crime. A book explaining the limits of statute of limitations on various crimes. Simply put, Kay. 7 years from the date of the crime. Separate time frames apply with regards to claims for damages. Murder, 15 years from the date of the crime. The statute is suspended should the suspect flee to a foreign country. The statute is suspended from the time of any accomplice's indictment to the end of their trial. That's important right there. The statute is suspended from the time of any accomplice's indictment to the end of their trial. The statute is suspended from the time of any accomplice's indictment to the end of their trial. Okay. Prosecutors only have a certain amount of time within which they can put a suspect on trial for a given crime. Let's take a closer look, shall we? So it's different for every crime. Murder, 15 years. Theft, 7 years. Ah! Yes, Ms. Bound stole the ice sculptures 18 years ago. So it's too late to have her arrested for that crime. I don't believe it. Theft is a serious matter, especially when it involves the removal of evidence from a crime scene. However, as you yourself just pointed out, Ms. Bound can no longer be prosecuted for a crime. Rendering your revelation rather pointless when you say this. I wouldn't be so sure about that. For you see, the theft of the ice sculptures isn't my principal interest here, it's a murder. I find the body that reappeared 18 years ago after the theft to be of considerable more interest. Are you suggesting that I also hid Mr. Frost's body? I am, indeed. But how do you keep a body hidden for 18 years without anybody finding it? By hiding it in a very unusual way. Oh, now this is interesting. Are you telling me that you know where the body has been all this time, Mr. Edgeworth? Where the body was? It's not such a big leap if you think about what Miss Down had just told us already. Let's just say, it wasn't just flavored ice that she removed from Mr. Frost's room back then. Very well. If you are confident in this claim, let's put it to the test. Tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, where exactly was Mr. Frost's body hidden? Oh, there is a security room, but she says there's no security, Did she cover up his body with a luminous cloth? Hiding the body in a very unusual way. Was the body hidden in the Pisca statue? Is that why Gusta was trying to burn it out? Because there was a body in there? And she put poison gas in there as a trap, in case anybody tried to remove the body.
Take that!
No, not in there. Okay. The Gemini case, hang on, wait. Sugar composition matches that of sugar found in the pale blue liquid in Artie Frost from 18 years ago. Sugar detected in fountain also seems to be a match.
Take that!
No. I'm gonna have to think this through a little bit here. He hid it in a very unusual spot. It had to have been kept in the winter wing, and the body was kept in, like, cold condition.
Take that!
A photograph of Mr. Frost's works. And of the victim's body, Your Honor. Oh no, is it? Hang on, wait 1 second. Wait. Taurus, I see it, I got it now. Look at the Taurus. You see how, like, there's all those clouds right next to the Taurus right there? That's where the body is. It's in that case. It's been in there for 18 years. She used the luminous cloth, this. Because Miss Scone's cloth went missing. She covered it up. She hid that under that, and she tried to make it seem like clouds. But in reality, it was the body that was there. You will have to forgive me, but I don't see what you mean. Where exactly is this photograph is Mr. Frost's body? The victim's body is hiding right here. Let's see if I'm right.
Take that!
No, it's not that one. A little hard here on this part. Okay, hang on. Could this be it right here instead? Hang on, wait 1 second.
Take that!
The Gemini sculpture. It's that one. It's that one. I was right. It just wasn't the right sculpture. That sculpture right there. That's where the body was. Hang on a second. Gemini. Yeah, I can't believe I missed it. Geminis are not covered up. When you think about it, look. Yeah, it's this. This is the explanation. If you look at the Gemini in the winter wing right there, you see there's two Gemini and they're both standing right next to each other. They're not, one of them isn't covered up. But in this one is covered up. Why is one covered up? She took the I was right, I just pointed at the wrong one. She took the luminous cloth, and then she hid it, she hid the body right under that. That's where it was for 18 years. Yes, it may look like a sculpture at first glance, but it is in fact Mr. Frost's corpse. Well, surely you can't be serious. I don't see anything in the photograph that supports such a wild claim. That's because a certain piece of evidence was used to hide the body in plain sight. And what piece of evidence might that be? The court demands that you present what was used to conceal the body. This, the luminous cloth. One of the cloths from in the autumn wing. Yes, when it's made to glow in just the right way, it's so visually convincing you might mistake its rice. Isn't that right, Miss Scone? Well, yes, dear, but you can make it look like just about anything, really, even blazing fire. And the right shade of blue will make it look just like ice. Yes, exactly like it, in fact. It is not the case that a certain special device needed to generate these colors, though. Heh, if you would just care to take another look at the photograph of the winter wing, Your Honor. You'll notice there is a small box connected to the bottom of the Gemini display case. Yeah, there it is. There it is. How did I not see that? That's one of the very light-emitting devices in question. Detective Gumshoe even confirmed its presence. In fact, this particular device went missing 18 years ago. Back then, it was no doubt firmly connected to the cloth inside the display case, which means Miss Bound had no choice but to take it with her when she removed the sculpture. So you see, this cloth and the light-emitting device were being used to create the illusion that Mr. Frost's body was in fact a statue carved from ice. No! This can't be. Wait, so you're telling me that when we took that photo of us in the Winter Wing, yes, we were standing right in front of the body. But the body and the cloth were both recovered from the fountain. Why were they found there if the body was supposed to be in the Winter Wing, disguised as sculpture? Remember that, look at the picture. Miss Scone found the luminous cloth in the fountain there. So the cloth also ended up in the fountain.
Objection!
Because there would have been no mystery as to how the body had been hidden if we had found it as it is. Miss Bound needed to remove Mr. Frost from the Winter Wing in order to throw us off the scent. Ridiculous. I don't recall her sneaking around behind our backs to throw a body in the fountain. No, and she didn't need to, because she had another method at her disposal. Her trusty lift cart, the same cart that had proved to be useful in executing her original theft. I believe she wheeled the body into one of the other wings and floated it down the stream to the fountain. The frozen body, being quite solid, probably got stuck somewhere along the way. And she's pushing a cart with the... Right there, you see that? There's a blue tarp. The blue tarp is right there on top of the cart, and she only has candy on there. Very light, light amount of stuff on it. Yeah, so she was pushing the body. Which is why only the cloth appeared at first. The cloth Miss Scone discovered. And then the body followed afterwards once it had thawed enough. It's an ingenious theory, Mr. Edgeworth. But can you prove that it was me? It seems a little unfair to expect me to accept your accusations without proof, don't you think? What about an eyewitness? Do you think someone might have spotted her when she was moving the body? Larry! Larry spotted her. As a matter of fact, I do. And the contradiction in the piece of evidence I was provided will shed light on exactly how Miss Bound moved the body as well. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any evidence to support your allegation? Of course. I have a piece of very compelling proof right here. Then please present it to the court. What evidence do you have that proves Miss Bound acted as you claim? The painting, the painting, Larry's sketches. Right there, see? She's moving the body because you can see this was drawn at different times. So, when you see Miss Scone picking up the luminous cloth, that happened afterwards. The first thing that happened right there was Miss Bound moving the cart, and you see the blue tarp on top of that? Yeah, she was using the lift cart, and it only had candies on it, no tea. The body was underneath that tarp right there.
Take that!
More drawings. Larry, I cannot believe that Larry saved the day. Larry's stupidity actually saved the day. And is that me? Yes, Mr. Butts drew sketches of people as they passed through the fountain room. But what I'm interested in is the cart we see here. Miss Bound's serving cart, what about it? You don't see it. She's using the same trick she used 18 years ago. Ergo, we know that Miss Bound was busy moving Mr. Frost's body when this picture was being drawn. What? If I may, I don't see Mr. Frost's body anywhere in that sketch. All I see is a picture of me delivering chocolates to everyone. Really? Then allow me to direct your attention to the color of the tablecloth, Miss Bound. I'd originally thought that Mr. Butts had made an error, but he assured me that it couldn't possibly be the case. This tablecloth appears to be light blue. Yes, a shade of tablecloth Miss Bound doesn't seem to own. The cloth only appears to be light blue due to the body hiding just underneath. What? But the shape of the cart is perfectly rectangular. This is the one would expect. Surely it would be immediately obvious if the tablecloth was being draped directly over the body. Not if the body had been placed inside one of the hollow zodiac blocks in the Winter Wing. Place one of those in the lift cart, and it's easily pass muster as a regular serving cart, wouldn't you agree? Goddess of Justice. Miss Bound. Surely now you must admit that it was you who moved the body, just as you did 18 years ago. Haha. I didn't expect you to deduce all that from a single simple sketch. But that sketch alone isn't really enough to prove your theory, is it? You needn't worry on that front. My case doesn't rest solely on Mr. Butt's artwork. Once you had disposed of the body, your serving cart became a simple lift cart once more, which is exactly what we discovered here in the fountain room. And without a serving cart, you had to find someplace to put your chocolates. My chocolates? The ones I was handing out. as we saw in the sketch, you had originally placed them on top of the cart. But the chocolate you gave us came from your pocket. Oh yeah, mine was half melted. It was still super sweet and tasty though. Why did you suddenly feel the need to put chocolates in your pocket, Miss Bound? It was because you no longer had a serving cart to put them on, that's why. One moment, please. You have explained what Miss Bound did with the chocolate in the lift cart. But what about the tablecloth? Where did it go? Indeed, if stashing the chocolates in her pocket was the only solution she could think of. I doubt Miss Bound had time to dispose of an entire tablecloth. What, Mr. Edgeworth? Do you have an answer for me? Miss Bound didn't hide or dispose of the tablecloth, Your Honor. In fact, it's right here in front of us. Perhaps you would care to enlighten us. Where exactly is the tablecloth Miss Bound used to hide the body? In the fountain. No. No, no, no. Yes, there. It's on her. It's on her. On Miss Bound's person. Miss Bound has a tablecloth on her person, and in plain view, in fact. In plain view, it's wrapped around her. Yeah, that's it. It's a separate cloth. It's not the luminous cloth there. It's a separate one. No, surely you don't mean. Miss Bound. It's the cloth around your waist, isn't it? And given that the Zodiac blocks weren't kept in glass cases, that cloth would have been in direct contact with the ice. All we would need to do is confirm my theories to test the cloth for traces of the sugar in Mr. Frost's work. The game is up, Miss Bound. It's time to come clean. You won't need to test the tablecloth. Everything you said is true. I stole Delicia's Infesticide Ultra, and I moved Mr. Frost's body. It was me. It was all me. Delicia, I'm so sorry. Last week, I went into your bag and I took it. And then, I put it in his pocket, hoping to make it look like he had tried to do himself in. I also made sure to leave no fingerprints but yours, just in case the police suspected foul play. Judy, you! Oh gosh! But Judes, why? Weren't we supposed to be on the same side, all fighting to free Samson? We were, but I couldn't afford to get arrested. Not yet. Not until I'd finally proven that Samson is innocent. I always planned to give myself up in the end, I swear. I know it's easy to say that now, but why do it this way, though? It's not like you. I'm sorry, Mr. Fender. I've caused you so much trouble. I've been the guilty party all along, ever since that day 18 years ago. Are you trying to tell us that the true culprit in the IS-7 incident was you? I committed a terrible crime. I took those sculptures, and I stole them for purely selfish reasons. The moment Mr. Frost died, they became more than mere entries in a confectionery contest. They became the final works of Samson's favorite artist. I couldn't allow them to smelt away, not before he came home. And that meant, I couldn't let anybody near them, not even the police. So I hid them. I knew it was wrong, but I just had to. So I put them in the cold storage room for safekeeping. But what I had actually done was far worse than anything I could have possibly imagined. Because who would have thought that Mr. Frost's body itself was poisoning as one of the sculptures? So she didn't know what the body when she stole the sculptures. Samson is a kind man, a saint. He could never kill anybody, never. And yet, because of what I did, the police never found Mr. Frost's body, and Samson was found guilty. After all he'd done for me, he was my family, the only family I've ever had. He was the most important person in the entire world to me, and Dudes. After his conviction, I was forced out of our home. I was finally able to return only a few days ago, and when I did, I went to the cold storage room to check up on the sculptures, and that's when I saw it. Mr. Frost's body. It had been there the whole time. Of course, by that point, the statute of limitations had expired. So I did what I did today, because it was the only way I could think of to make things right. It seems I've misunderstood her intentions. Everything she's done really has all been for Mr. Tangero's sake. Hey, what are you thinking about, Mr. Edgeworth? If she didn't kill Mr. Frost, and Tangero didn't kill Mr. Frost, that means there's only 2 suspects left for that. It's either Miss Scone or it's Gusto. Wait a second. It's Gusto. Gusto is the murderer. Because he was trying to get into the... He was trying to open up the statue because the body was in there. Gusto hid it. Gusto knew the body was in there. Why else would he open it up? It was Gusto. Something that's been puzzling me. Why did Miss Bound use poison gas? Why not a more reliable method? And why disguise the Autumn Wing as the Winter Wing? The only reason I can think of is to confuse someone who was here 18 years ago. Yeah, I wonder what she had in mind. If she was trying to prove that Mr. Tangero is innocent, Miss Bound's ultimate goal must be to find the true killer. Could she have been trying to discover the identity of the true culprit? Miss Bound, your ultimate aim was to see Mr. Tangero cleared of all charges, correct? And to that end, you had to expose the real killer and have the police find the body from 18 years ago. Is my understanding of your intentions correct? Exhibiting the sculptures was sure to force the killer to return to the crime scene. Gusto. After all, they were the only person apart from you who knew that the body was hidden in that icework. So they would have freaked out thinking the body was about to be discovered and come running, yeah. Gusto. Gusto did it. Gusto was trying to open it up. Exactly. Miss Bound ran the risk that the killer might successfully cover their tracks this time. In the worst case scenario, they might even have been able to remove Mr. Frost's body from the scene. So how could she lure the true killer into revealing themselves without putting vital evidence at risk? Make a copy. Oh, I see what you're getting at. You're saying that that's why the Autumn Wing was all Winter Wing. I am. You were betting on one thing, Miss Bound, weren't you? That whoever opened the Piscus case you had so carefully disguised the Gemini case would be the real perpetrator of the IS-7 incident. No. But that would mean the real killer was Gusto. Enough. Not another word. Do you realize the implications of what you are saying, Mr. Edgeworth? Are you prepared to stand behind the accusation you are clearly about to make? It's Gusto. Gusto's a murderer. Miss Bound set a trap for Mr. Frost's killer, meaning that whoever found themselves caught in that trap is highly likely to be the guilty party. But I lack the evidence to support such an assertion. To accuse someone without any evidence is not to be done so lightly, so should I really go ahead and make an accusation and name Mr. Frost's killer nonetheless? Make the accusation. I'm doing it. My ultimate goal is to see the truth exposed. And to do that, I need to seize the moment. Yes, Judge Cavell, I'm prepared to stand behind my accusation. I know exactly who is to blame for the IS-7 incident. Gusto. Carmelo Gusto. A confectioner who, having breathed in poisonous gas, was found collapsed outside the Autumn Wing. Gusto.
Take that!
Mr. Gusto, the victim of the poison gas attack, is the perpetrator behind the IS-7 incident? Gusty! Mr. Gusto. Miss Bound. As we have established, you knew that the opening of the gallery would learn the real culprit. And you set up the poison gas trap in order to catch them. Do you dispute the facts thus far? You're a very impressive man, Mr. Edgeworth. Just like your father. And of course, you're absolutely right. Then perhaps you could tell us exactly what happened in your own words. Of course, I have nothing to hide anymore, so I might as well tell you everything. As you said, I set a trap here in the gallery to try and catch Mr. Frost's killer. Before we opened, I made sure that the door to the Autumn Wing was the only one that was unlocked. When opening time came, I went around to unlock the doors to the various rooms, and found that the Autumn Wing had been locked from the inside. The killer is on the other side of the door. The thought, well, it frightened me. And then she simply walked away, leaving him to fall victim to her poison gas trap. When I heard that Mr. Gusto was being treated for gas inhalation, that's when I knew he was the murderer. All that was left for the police to find, Mr. Frost's body, and then Samson would finally be proven innocent. At least, that was my plan. Dudes, why didn't you tell me? You know I'm always here for you, right? We could have found another way. It didn't have to be like this. Thank you, Mr. Fender. You've been so very kind to me all these years. But I'm the one who created this mess, so it's up to me to try and clean it up. I didn't care what it took, as long as I could get Samson out of that awful place. Judy, Judy, Judy. 18 years ago, the police managed to cover up the fact that Mr. Frost's body had gone missing. If I went to them now and said it had reappeared, I was afraid they might have tried to cover things up again. So I worked to set off a very public incident here in the gallery in front of as many witnesses as possible. I'm so sorry, Judy. You, Samson, Gregory, I let you all down. Fender, this can't be easy for him. No, I'm the one who should be apologizing. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, I hope one day you can forgive me. And whatever punishment I have to face, I'm ready to accept it. But please, if I may ask one thing of you, it's that you simply must clear Samson's name. The way the truth of these past 18 years has come to light was unexpected to say the least. And yet, it had only set us down a path towards an even more shocking end. That's it. So I know what the next part is gonna be. The next part is gonna be cross-examining Gusto. It's gonna be Gusto's breakdown, taking down Gusto. So Gusto is the killer. So she did everything to basically help Samson. That's basically why she did all of that stuff. Yeah. It was Gusto is just such a scumbag, but we're gonna find out more. But I think the key to Gusto being the killer is that picture of Gusto and Frost's children. They had some kind of connection. They were working together beforehand, and there's that picture of them with their kids. It has something to do with this. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's definitely something is linked to that. But thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this part. And you guys were right. You guys were right when you told me this is one of the best cases in the game. You guys were definitely right in the comment section. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this part. If you did, drop a like. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.